Hello, my name is Laurie Tucker. I am a childhood sexual abuse survivor and author of What Odd Things I Thank You For, Discovering Grace in a Shattered Life. In the life of every abuse survivor, even with lots of healing, there is light, dark, and lots of gray. The light is easy. Who wouldn't want to move toward love? The dark is easy. We have a clear vision of what happened to us and have no desire to move toward that. But the gray, oh, the gray, what we live with beyond the abuse, there's the challenge. For 18 years of my childhood, from ages 3 to 21, I was the weekly victim of sexual abuse and torture at the hands of my grandfather, his friend, and my father. Both my grandmother and mother knew, but neither intervened. The abuse I endured was horrific, and that puts my experience and my recovery on the extreme end of the spectrum. Your experience and your recovery may be different than mine. In the last video, I talked of living a small life, of learning to be okay with the diminishment that abuse has caused in my life. I tried to offer the many blessings of my life, but I would be disrespectful to other abuse survivors if I suggested my life was always filled with light and ease. I struggle to accept, and maybe you do too, that harm done so long ago can still have such an impact on my life. Before I began my healing journey, when all memory was sublimated, I lived a life of trying to be more. Supermom to my children, hostess extraordinaire for my husband's colleagues and students, church officer and volunteer, substitute teacher at my children's high school. The list of what I did, of what I could do, never lessened. It just became more. Trauma and trauma recovery can take you off the path to more, whether you want to go or not. Learning what happened to me forced me to slow down, to contract into introspection, and to be less present out in the world. Suddenly, I could not go places where there was loud noise or music or lots of TVs. I couldn't see movies with violence or join my friends at a restaurant. I could no longer be a wedding planner. I could no longer be a hostess extraordinaire. I wasn't able to live my ordinary life. I told myself this was temporary and managed the lack of my life with the promise that it would return. Harder still has been having to accept that the effects of abuse mean my life will be permanently different. Travel is now off the table. Just when my husband retired and had the time and energy to travel, I discovered I have panic attacks on airplanes. Car travel is still okay, especially the back roads, but longer trips and overseas flights can no longer happen. I berate myself for this and think I should be able to manage my panic attacks with sheer willpower. Being with 4 loud, boisterous, and wonderful grandchildren can quickly overwhelm me, causing me to dissociate. I must titrate my time with them, which is an anathema to me. The return to my former life has not happened. I struggle to claim I am enough, just as I am. There are days I don't want to be just as I am. I struggle with the irony that before I began this healing work, before I knew what happened to me, I could do what I wanted. I made the decisions. Now, after effects of abuse often make those decisions for me. Accepting that I am enough, though now diminished, is going to be lifelong work. When I can relax into my reality and find the beauty of it, more time to spend in my garden, more time to soak in the grace of solitude and silence, more time to be truly present in the moment, more times without underlying pain and anguish, I can see that my life is rich and full. The friends I have are special. The choices I make always include self-care. Most days, I can live in this gray, not harmed, not healed, not light, not dark. It has to be enough. And most days it is. Just not today.